Hi. So, we're going to do something a little bit different this time. We are going to talk about Helldivers lore. Because surprisingly, this game, as much as I love playing it,
Reminder, signs of disloyalty
has a lot of lore in it. And it's lore that's like scattered out throughout the galaxy and throughout like where you play. It's not like out in the open, it's not in your face. It doesn't tell you straight up what this planet's about, what this world's about, what any of this is about. And it's really quite interesting what we know. Like the best example of it is most games when they have lore in their game, we're just gonna do a small little, I don't really care. Most games when they have lore, it's normally
the operation proceeds smoothly.
It's normally written by a dude that you'll never see, and it's his story, and then you as a player are just along for the ride, and you really don't have any say in the direction of which the world goes. Helldivers is very different. The players actually have a say on like what the story is and what they choose to do. Like Malevelon, we weren't actually supposed, like, Malevelon didn't become a thing because the game devs wanted it to be a thing. The players did that. Same thing with the hospital, and same thing with Calypso. Like, we were not supposed to wipe the Illuminate off the map that fast. And we did it. Like, time and time again, like, this game, like, surprises me. And with stuff like that. But anyway, let's get back to, like lore and whatnot. So, what spurred this video, or the idea of just talking about Helldivers lore, is a video on YouTube that I watched. It was essentially a guy talking about Star Wars versus the Helldivers, and that's when I really thought about like how their military is set up and how wild their military is. So I started doing like, you know, comparisons and like my own like research between the factions. Yeah, that's good. Yeah, I don't really care. So, Eagle 1 is a fascinating... Let's just go with Eagle 1, alright? You got Eagle pilots and you got Eagle 1 pilots, as far as I understand. Eagle pilots are just like your regular pilots, and then your Eagle 1 pilots are apparently the best of the best when it comes to pilots. Is this speed it? No, it's not. Oh, shoot. The Eagle 1 pilots are supposedly so good that if they miss at all, like, if they miss their shots at all, they're court-martialed. Think how, like, ridiculous, like, you would have to be as a pilot. You have to make every shot from any direction, any angle. Like, Eagle 1 pilots are, like, ridiculous. Now, compare that Eagle 1 pilots, not just Eagle pilots. Eagle pilots are, like, your basic fighters. But anyway, think about that fighting a TIE fighter. Like, it's kind of ridiculous. And then, you know, obviously, the biggest argument against the Star Wars versus Helldivers is the fact that their ships are bigger and carry a lot more people. Yes, they do, but there's a downside to that. They do not have the same firepower that the Helldivers do. A Helldivers destroyer, fully upgraded, I'm talking fully upgraded Helldiver destroyer. It has a lot. Hold on, let me find out. It's the worst one. Dang it. The Helldivers destroyer. Okay, the Helldivers destroyer has so much firepower on it. I really believe it could actually do damage to a Star Wars destroyer. And even if they lose one ship, there's like how many Helldivers that play this game? I mean, just last night there was like 83,000 Helldivers playing at one time on like New Year's. Like, how big is like, you know, this army? And it depends on how many people are playing the game. So if there's like 83,000 Helldiver destroyers, there are also just Seath destroyers. You got to think about that. They're like there's not just Helldiver destroyers. Everyone's dying to be like on a Helldiver's destroyer, but there's not just a Helldiver destroyer. There's also Seath destroyers, you know, which are just like normal destroyers that, you know, that people have. And then also, there's not just the Helldiver Corps in like their military. The Helldiver Corps is one branch of like their military. You know, you got Seath Police, and you got like Seath Army. Which is also like amazing to think about. Alright. Call me awesome. Yeah, you got Seath Police and like Seath military, and then in the and then canonly, like inside the Helldiver Corps, there's like sub branches, which is also like fascinating to think about.
Objective near your position. Unleashing democracy.
Yeah, you got sub branches to think about like as well. So it's like in the Helldiver Corps, you got the Helldiver Corps, which is like the big one. Then you got like General Brash's battalion, and then you got like the Chaos Divers, which again is another like battalion or another faction within Helldivers. Then you got like Special Forces, Elite Helldivers, Commando Helldivers, which are trained for like forest area and jungle biomes. Then you got the polar winterized Helldivers that are trained for those winterized planets. Basically, it's broken up into like Helldiver Specialized Class, Helldiver Specialized Battalion, which. What am I trying to say? It's either you're specialized in a weapon, or you're specialized in a environment, or you're specialized in a class. I mean, we got Helldivers in the canon that are like spies and espionage, and like that's what their class does. Like it's an actual functioning like military, and the Helldivers are the biggest like. Well, I can't even say that. I don't even think the Helldivers are the biggest faction, like the biggest branch of their military. I fully think, yes, a better weapon. I fully think that the Seath Army is probably bigger than the Helldiver Corps in just how many people they have. Yeah, and like if a Helldiver's destroyer or a destroyer get blown up, depending on what the destroyer was, if it was a Helldivers destroyer, you killed like 40 people plus 50 Helldivers. If it's just a normal destroyer, you just killed 40 people, that's it. Whereas if you killed a Star Wars destroyer, you killed like, what was it, like 500,000 people? Like I forgot the number, but it's ridiculous how many people are actually like in a destroyer, and that's because it's not. The Helldivers are fighting a war. The Stormtroopers are a police force. The war that the Emperor was like fighting were hit and run tactics, and it was because the war was over. If you pay attention to the lore of Star Wars, like they were turning all their warships into scrap parts. They had like scrap yards, and they were taking these Victorian class Star Destroyers and building something cheaper. And the reason why they were building something cheaper is because the war was over. They didn't need it anymore. They just needed to maintain peace throughout the galaxy. So if they're a giant police force that are just dealing with like small bandits or whatnot, so you don't need these big heavy weapons anymore, so you just get rid of them. And then you run into like the Helldiver Corps, who's been in a war for what looks to be a long time. I only played Helldivers 2. I think they could probably do pretty well against them, especially since all you're fighting mostly are stormtroopers and Sith army, the Empire army, the Imperial army, and then stormtroopers. Because you're not going to be fighting Darth Vader. The Emperor, I don't think, fought ever in any of the conflicts. The Emperor kept his army purposely weak because he was afraid of losing control.
You have been a stalwart line of extract when ready.
The Helldiver Corps is like strong as ever. And then on top of that, like, there's not a lot of resistance to manage democracy in like the Helldivers universe. Like they pretty much fully control all the planets in their universe, in their galaxy right now. Or not galaxy, this is bigger than a galaxy, but in their domain they control all of their planets, basically. That's what I'm saying. And in the Star Wars universe, you had like large factions that just hated the Empire. I mean, they were called lawless zones. Like, there was no law there. Whereas Super Earths, like, every planet has who knows how many people live like on like these planets once they're liberated. I mean, we don't see all that. Like it's amazing how there's how much gap we have to fill in the gaps. That's just wild to me. Like, there's cities now in Helldivers 2. We actually see cities. Like, how many people lived in those cities? You know? It's like, and then like every planet, even this one I'm on, had life on it. How many people were living here before the war, kicked off on this planet and was invaded? It's like how big is Super Earth society, I guess? Empire? It's wild to me. Also, their vehicles are massively different. Like, in the Helldivers universe, the Helldivers vehicles and weapons, I've noticed this, and I'll show it to you when we get back onto the ship to just prove a point, but it's like, same way with the vehicle I'm in now. It's custom made. So like, it's not custom, but it's like, it's interchangeable. Okay, so it's like, you can take this mech, put any gun arm on it, and just swap it out for whatever mission you want to do. So it's very efficient, where one thing... Hold on. It's very efficient where one machine can be used for multiple different missions. It has like utility in it. It has like utility in it, and like no matter what mission you're going to, you can just swap out these parts for a specific mission that you need, and just use it. You know, like you can put the auto cannons on that mech, you can put 2 miniguns, you can put 2 rockets. Like, it's completely changeable. Like, you can change it all. And if you look at the Eagle 1, it's very much the same way. You need a bomber. Oh, just swap out this part, and now it can drop 500 kilogram bombs. Oh, you need something with strafing runs? You can just swap this part out. Same thing with the Gatling gun and like all that other thing. It's one ship. Like Eagle 1, it like essentially got rid of having multiple ships like in the US. In the US, they have like... In the US, you have like multiple different ship or multiple different guns that do like in the US you have multiple different planes that do multiple different things. All right, in Helldivers, because of how wide they are and how efficient they need to be, they built one machinery and they made it to where you can swap out parts to fit whatever mission you need. Like, even their guns are that way. If you look at the Liberator and the Liberator Carbine and the Liberator Concussive and the Liberator Penetrator, they're all the same gun. They just changed a few things to it to fit their to fit what they wanted it to do, basically. Same thing with the Diligence and the Counter Diligence. It's the same gun. They just changed a few things. So it's like they can mass produce this and build it to fit whatever they need. The Empire is not like that at all. Sam, love you. The Empire's not like that, like, at all. Like, that's not how they function. It's like, it's amazing to think about. Also, we might not have all the weapons in the Helldivers, like, all the weapons in the Helldivers arsenal might not be all the weapons of Super Earth. Because there's a gun in the game. It is I just had it a few minutes ago. It was a single barrel or a double barrel shotgun. You cannot unlock that gun in this game. You can't unlock it. And the lore reason behind why you can't unlock that vehicle is because, or that gun, is because it's not assigned to you. See, Helldivers are given access to the weapons that they would need to complete their individual missions. That shotgun is for Seath police. Yep. The police officers that are supposed to maintain control or maintain law and order on their planets once the Seath army and the Helldivers are gone, the Seath police, they have those shotguns. We don't have access to those. It was the same thing with the car recently. The cars existed before that update where we could get them. You know, cars existed. Like, they were on the map, but they weren't given to the Helldivers because the Helldivers didn't need them. See, like this gun right here. That's by Seath Police. And Seath Police only. No one else has, like, access to that gun in Helldivers lore. Alright? So, what other guns do we not have access to? And the car is another great example. We didn't have the car when it first came out. It was only Seath Army and Seath Police that had the car. The Helldivers are just now allowed access to have it. So, like, what other guns do we not have? Was the ultimate question there. That we don't have access to right now. Like, this game is, like, fascinating when it comes to, like, lore and whatnot. And I assume it's, like, I joke to my friends that it's super children that are making the bullets and making, like, the vehicles and making all this stuff on, like, on like an assembly line, because how are they making all this? You know? Like, there's like, every bullet, every rocket, everything you have on me, like, who's making these, you know? Like, every vehicle, it has to be on an assembly line.
Eagle 1 returning to destroyer for resupply.
It's just more thought, you know? Also, everything on, I don't know if I already said this, but everything on a destroyer, like, I think I did, where it's like the turbo lasers are all that the destroyer has in the Star Wars universe, whereas Helldivers have, like, rail strikes, orbital lasers, barrages, like, you name it, you know? It's like, the variety of weapons are, like, wild. Helldivers have a lot more variety in what they can do, whereas the Empire does not, is what I'm saying, ultimately. And versatility, because, you know, one piece of machinery can do multiple things, apparently.
ETA, T-minus 10 seconds. This is Eagle 1. We're back in business. Coming in hot.
Pelican 1 approaching pickup. Pelican 1 landing sequence initiated. Watch where you're standing.
Enemy down, baby.
Also, they do have, he also mentioned in the video that Helldivers don't, like, and there's no space combat, which I disagree with. We're a Helldiver, why would we see space combat? Our mission is not to fight in space, our mission is to take planets. So we wouldn't see space combat. That would be the Helldivers naval fleet. Yep. They like each destroyer has a capability of fighting automaton warships and illuminated ships as well. So, like, I do believe that there is space combat, especially since there is orbital guns that stops destroyers from orbiting planet. Like, that's canon. There are these big guns that fire bullets into the atmosphere and into space to destroy, to blow up destroyers. and someone, and then also there was a mission, the Vanguard mission, the Vanguard Force and the Jet Brigade, where we actually saw these giant, on the map, we never actually saw them in person, but on the map we saw these giant
and lots of samples to figure out how
automaton ships that were just on the map, and we would go and we would battle on like the planet, and we would never see like the actual ships, but they moved them somewhere, somehow they got there, you know.
what's going on.
It's like this planet's wild, like this whole thing is wild. Look at all this. Look at that minigun right there. That minigun can be put right there. Like everything is interchangeable. Look at that. You can change that Eagle 1 could be multiple different things. And that's wild. And yes, I know there's like more TIE fighters, but if you had a really good ship, I'm pretty sure one Eagle 1 could take out multiple TIEs. Not to mention we have the DSS, which has like multiple Eagle 1s on it. The DSS is essentially the DSS is essentially the what would you call it? The Star Wars Trade Federation warship. If you've seen the Clone Wars, you know what I'm talking about. It's basically a ball with a half circle in it that Anakin blow ups in the first film. That's basically what the DSS is. So, and it's filled with like super citizens, which, if I remember right, there was like a million people on there, or it's like, it's ridiculous how many people are on that ship. But yeah, that's the biggest thing the Helldivers have, and it has orbital guns because that's where the bombardment comes from, and it has Eagles, and that's about all it has. It has a blockade feature, which is kind of cool. Yeah, but it's like the Helldivers lore is very, very interesting to me, and I love how it doesn't. You have to learn all this by just playing the game and reading these little spots throughout the map, paying attention to the community, like watching those movies right there. It's like this is wild. Oh right, I wanted to show you this. So look at this. Liberator, Penetrator. You can kind of see it. Liberator Concussive. Liberator Carbine. It's all four of those are the exact same gun. They just changed a few pieces. Look how efficient that is. Assembly line. Diligence counter sniper. Same gun, paint it green, give it a few extra parts. Defender, pummeler. This is how they save their money, guys. This is how they save their money. Now, check this out. Slugger, Punisher, Halt, Cookout, same gun. Different paint scheme, different bullets, same gun. Check this one out. Spray and Pray, Incendiary. Same gun. This, like, they're very efficient at changing little details to make a different gun. Like there's no jump in logic. Like there's no jump. It's wild. All right, not enough Helldiver lore. It's just fascinating to think about. So, yep. See you later. Wrong button. See you later.